Let me make it clear. I think he is right, it is a low point, Biden told reporters of Putin's recent assessment about the Moscow-Washington relationship. And it depends on how he responds to acting consistent with international norms. Which in many cases he has not. Putin said in an interview with Russian state television that he would be open to extraditing Russian criminals to the U.S. if Washington agrees to reciprocate. Biden said Putin's comments were potentially a good sign of progress, and said he was open to that deal, though he seemed to express doubt that there were any criminals in the U.S. perpetrating crimes against Russians. If there's crimes committed against Russia that in fact are the people committing those crimes being harbored in the United States, I'm committed to holding them accountable, Biden said. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken told NBC News' Andrea Mitchell in an interview Sunday that Biden will confront Putin on cyber attacks in their meeting. He is going to make clear that no responsible state can be in the business of harboring criminal enterprises engaged in cyber attacks, including ransomware. That's very much gonna be part of the conversation, Blinken said. Mega drought in western U.S. pushing Lake Mead to first-time water shortage. Mitchell, Biden's vaccination announcement ahead of G7 summit is a shot at China, Russia. Harris, we have a responsibility to interact, work with our allies around the world. Biden begins first foreign trip meeting with UK PM Johnson, talking shared goals and global challenges. Biden reasserting America's leadership on world stage this week, says WH Alabama ranks second to last in nation for COVID vaccinations. Blinken aims to bolster Israel-Hamas ceasefire amid protests in Jerusalem. President Biden arrives in Britain on his first foreign trip. This is hurting our democracy, Maricopa County Supervisor Steve Gallardo says about the Arizona election audit. Arizona Secretary of State says no valid result will come out of the audit. Biden embarks on his first overseas trip. U.S. recovers most of ransom from Colonial Pipeline hack. Sen. Menendez, DNJ, on President Biden's strategies at home and abroad. Andrew Yang, I see Mike Bloomberg as a template for New Yorkers of for-profit colleges targeting veterans in their recruiting. By far, the most peaceful protesters forced out of Lafayette Park before Trump visits church. President Putin says it's not Russia. I don't see any reason why it would be, Trump said, siding with the autocratic foreign leader over the U.S. government's analysis. In a statement ahead of Biden's trip last week, Trump asked Biden to, please give Putin my warmest regards, and defended his great and very productive meeting in Helsinki. Biden and Putin will hold separate press conferences after their meeting in Switzerland, a sign of the chillier relationship between the two men. This is not a contest about who can do better in front of a press conference, Biden said, defending the decision not to appear alongside Putin. It's about making myself very clear what the conditions are to get a better relationship. But Biden said there are opportunities for cooperation with Russia, such as on stopping ransomware attacks and in providing humanitarian relief to global conflict zones where Russia has sway, such as Libya and Syria. There's a lot going on where we can work together with Russia, Biden said. Russia has engaged in activities that we believe are contrary to international norms, but they've also bitten off real problems that they're going to have trouble chewing on. Biden said democracy is at risk around the globe and Democratic counties need to pull together to defend it. We're in a contest not with China per se, but with autocrat, he said. Biden's comments came on the heels of G7 meeting, which includes the US, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan and the United Kingdom, that concluded with a statement calling on Russia to stop its destabilizing behavior and malign activities abroad and specifically mentioned the need to urgently identify and disrupt ransomware criminal networks. It also warned China about its non-market international economic policies and urged Beijing to respect human rights and fundamental freedoms, especially in relation to Xinjiang, where the local Muslim population has faced repression. That's a different kind of person, and it is my great hope that, yes, there are some advantages, some disadvantages, but there will not be any impulse-based movements on behalf of the sitting U.S. president, Putin said of Biden.